Hello, today I'll be showing a demonstration of how to use Inpainting in Krita with stable diffusion. This up here is the version I downloaded. You can install it, the instructions are there. I'm not one to provide technical support, but if I can figure it out, I think you can too. You have to closely read their guidance. And then this is the prompt we'll be using. I didn't create this. I found a pretty picture on Reddit and just thought I'd use it for demonstration here. So that's what we'll go with. So to get started here, I'm going to just have an empty layer over here in the top right, and then I've pasted into this box here that phrase, realistic portrait of a princess, fantasy, intricate, smooth, what have you. I'm going the DDIM sampler. I'm using 50 steps just for now. I've got my CFG scale set to 8. I'm going to do a batch of 1 just for the trial right now. My base size 512, and I'm using a seed of 13. I have GFPGAN enabled to make the base prettier. So I'm going to pause this while it renders. It takes about 30 seconds, but there's nothing for you to see during that time. Okay, so we're back after rendering one of these, and this is a perfect example for us to work with because it allows me to show a couple of things that you'll want to learn how to do. So the first thing I notice here is that this right eye is kind of messed up, even with the GFPGAN enabled, and also is that the top of the character's head is cut off here. It's not centered the way I'd like it to be. So I'm going to do 2 separate fixes on those just to walk you through the process. So first off, let's go from the text to image tab over to the image to image tab, and I've pasted in the same exact prompt just so that it tries to target something that looks like the original style. I'm going to keep the same seed of 13 and CFG scale of 8, and this time I'm actually going to do a batch of 5 so that I have 5 to choose from when I get it to create the Inpainting layers. So let's go to the plus button here to add an empty layer on top, and then I want to switch to my paintbrush, and I use the airbrush one, which is this guy, airbrush soft, and under tool options I've got it set to basic. Where is that? And I've got my size. Let's fix the eye first. So I've got my size set to 30. I'm going to leave the opacity 100. So you have to have white as your selected paint color because that's what this plugin is programmed to look for and what it chooses to inpaint. So I'm going to paint over this eye here, and I'm going to paint a little bit more than the eye itself so there's something to blend with. And I like the soft edge of the airbrush. It allows the inpainting to blend better with the painting in the end. Okay, so that's all I did there. You can see it's on a different layer from the original painting, but I need to have this painted in white layer selected and activated. And then once again I'm going to go down and run stable diffusion Inpainting on that while it's paused so you don't have to watch it happen. But notice among the 3 buttons across the bottom here of the plugin, there's apply image to image, apply SDF scale, and apply SD Inpainting. I want the last one on the right. Okay, I'm going to pause it and come right back. Okay, so I'm back after running the Inpainting. One thing I forgot to stress, maybe I didn't even mention it, is that down here under denoising strength, you need to set that fairly high to do Inpainting. 0.7, 0.8 seems to work well. Otherwise, it's not enough room for it to adjust the white background it's been given to something that will look like it belongs in the picture. So this first sample, you can see it looks better than before, but it doesn't quite match the left eye. One's kind of darker green. There's a bit of a blur around it. We'll fix that later. Let's go to the next. We've got 5 trials. That one's a complete failure. Another failure. That one's okay. And that one's I don't know, I guess I'll go with this one as my second option. I'll delete the rest by holding down Shift Delete. And now that I've got what I want, I can get rid of the white inpainted layer and take this eye that I like, and I'm going to right click on it and merge with the layer below. So now I've got one layer that's really my my functioning layer right now that I'm going to work from. So I've got the eye improved, and we'll work on that further when we do further passes. Now I'm going to show you how to reposition your character and even just scale them down. So just so I don't mess it up, I like to duplicate the layer and work with that one. So I right click, duplicate, and now I'm going to play with this guy. So go to my toolbox and select the frame item, and then I got these corner handles that pop up. If I hold down Shift, it'll keep it within the same, that didn't work at all. It'll keep it in the same aspect ratio, which is what I want. So let's say I want to position her over here. So now I'm going to get the top of her head. When that fills in, and I'll get more of the body here. There's a risk there because it may render her hand in a funny way, and hands are not something that's reliably done well, but let's run with that. So now I need to create a new layer on top of that one that I'll white paint into. And I'm going to go back to my brush here, still on the white one, and I'm going to make the size a bit bigger. And it's a good idea to feather these things in so there's not like a hard line where you went from one to the other, or else you can, it remains pretty apparent and it takes some blending later on. And if I had really thought this out, I would have a background that wasn't white to paint against so that I would recognize when I'd fully filled in the area, but we'll just do our best, because if there's any area that isn't covered in white paint, then Stable Diffusion's plugin won't recognize it as something it needs to create content for. One way to look at that actually would probably go here, reactivate that, and now, okay, good. So you can see I missed some areas on the Inpainting. So I've activated the lower level before she's rescaled, but that shows me where it still needs some paint. Okay, so we are all inpainted, nice and white, and activate you again. Okay, so now the plugin will know that it wants to paint in the areas on layer 6 that are white to match the activated visible layer down one below it of our rescaled one. Okay, so we're going to give it another try, and I'm going to again pause it while it runs. But once again, when I do pause it, I'm going to be pressing the Apply SD Inpainting, which is the bottom right button. Alright, see you in a few minutes. And we're back. So you can see it's filled in the areas that I had painted white, and this one's actually a pretty nice hairstyle. I like it. I don't know what's going on over here. As I warned, it's tried to render a hand and it's kind of mucked it up. So that's not probably something we'll go with unless we retouch that further. Let's look at option number 2. Let's put a clock crown on her head. Interesting. And we've got a regular old crown. She's leaning back. This is the winner so far. I like that. The hair goes all the way down here. A little uneven there, but we can fix that. And let's check the next. I don't know what it's doing here. That one's a failure. And this is not terrible, but I don't think that's the one I'll go with. So let's get rid of the ones we're sure we don't like. That was one we're going to keep. So let me delete these. And that crown head, clock head, we'll get rid of, and this funky hand here. So hopefully we kept the right one. Yeah, we did. Okay, I'll get rid of my white layer. I'll take this and I will merge it down to the one below. So now there's a single layer. And you can see where we came from. This is the one where I've fixed the eye and I've scaled her down so that the top of her head fit in. So that's the one after I fixed the eye, but I hadn't scaled her. You can see what's... I think it's a nicer composition. As you're trying to make generally your point of interest be in the thirds, so here, or here, or here, or here of your screen. If you divide the screen into a grid of 3, with this reposition, now her face is closer to that top right third grid line. Okay, so from this point, since I'm just playing here, I'm going to get rid of that starter image. And I would typically take this and run a few more passes just to see if we can clean up some of the eye mess here, maybe get the colors the same, get rid of a bit of these artifacts, and I would change the denoising strength. So if you want to keep an image largely the same, but just to see if it can make some minor fixes, lower this down to 0.3 or 0.4. Let's try 0.3. That means I want to keep almost everything the same, just give it a little bit of randomness to see how it goes. Often at this time I'll also increase the batch count, or possibly even change the seed if I want it to just have a little bit of variety. Whoops, got a telephone call. I have no idea where I left off. But I think I was saying that I was going to just run this and see what happens. So I will pause this while it runs. Oh, I should say that we're not inpainting anymore. This should be obvious, but what I'll be doing is clicking on the Apply SD Image to Image, the bottom left button. And we're back. Well, it made some changes, probably more than I wanted. It doesn't look like the same character anymore. Crown's changed. I think next time I'm going to lower my denoising strength even further, but let's walk through them. That one's not right. Let's check out her. I like the costume better. The eyes are even worse out of balance. That one's really getting good. The expression is really kind of fun. Yeah, we went off course there, and went way off course there. Okay, so I think if any of these were the one I would keep, it'd be that one. But I want to try to get something that looks a bit more like the starting character, this one. I really like the look on her face. And I could mask it out and inpaint everything else, but that's not what we're trying to do here. So let me just delete these guys, and the nice thing is you can redo it as many times as you want, but I'm going to change my denoising strength down all the way down to 0.2. And we'll see how it does. So here's the result. Actually, I didn't like the 0.2s. There was a little too much denoising, so I went with 0.1. And the great thing about these low-pass denoising runs is that they're really fast. So, for example, the Inpainting that was done when I was rescaling her took, I think, about 35 seconds each pass, each frame of the batch of 5. But with these low denoising strength runs, it takes 5 seconds per frame. So I could easily do 50 of these and choose the one I like most. But let's run through the ones we got. So, looking very nice. That may be my final choice. I like that we've done the face. All of these are really high quality because they're really close to the original. It's interesting how it appears the ethnicity of the character is changing somewhat from frame to frame. But I think any of these would be one to be pleased with. I think I'll go with this one because she looks closest, I think, to original while fixing a lot of the ugly graphical effects we had left over, the artifacts. So the final thing I like to do, and when I've got what I really kind of think I'm going to go with, is do a very high step number pass. So I've got all the settings where I want it. I am going to do a 200 step pass, and we'll see what we get here. Well, sometimes those high step count passes look good, and sometimes they look cruddy like this one and actually reintroduce some artifacts. So that's the nature of the beast. You experiment and you find something that works for any particular image. I think I'm going to go back to the low pass one, and then I'll do a final step, which is the upscaling that's already built into the plugin here. So let me rerun the lower pass and we'll try that. Now maybe it's just because I've been playing with this one too long, but the more I run these other passes, the more I realize I kind of prefer the original one. It just needs a touch of cleanup. So I'm just going to get rid of everybody except for the original upscaled one that I did, or rescaled. And because we're already in Krita, I can just do some touch-ups here. So I've gone to my, let's see, find the tool for blurring here. This one's called Blender Blur, and I can set my opacity way down low, like 30, and just see if I can get rid of some of these artifacts. Good. And the hair was looking a little strange there. That's okay. And this ear up here has kind of bothered me. But I'm going to have to shrink the size down. Thin up that line. So this is the awesome thing about this program, is how it puts all the full power of Krita right in your hands when you are doing the stable diffusion. So she's probably about as good as I'm going to get her for this little demonstration video, other than that one last thing I talked about, which was going to upscale. And I like the Real Erskine 4X Plus. It's pretty quick. This one runs within a second or two, unless the program slowed down my screen capture software. So there we have the upscaled face. I don't know if you can see the difference, and the unupscaled, but the definition is quite a bit finer. It does start to have an anime type appearance, which you may or may not want, but I think that it's worth it, because otherwise things just are a little too blurry. So that, we'll call that a final. Hope you enjoyed the little demo, and hope you have as much fun as I do with it. Take care.